Hi guys, today we are going to be working on a garland. So I'm going to work on a garland for my design studio. So this is what we're going to be working on today. I got this pine garland at Walmart. It was a 9-foot non-lit mulberry garland. And so this is what we're going to be using today. And then we're going to add a bunch of things to it. So it looks kind of sad right now, but we're going to fix it up. So we're only going to design half of it today on the tutorial, because the other half is going to be the exact same thing. So I'm going to show you one side and then I'll finish it because this is going to take a little bit of time to do. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find my center point. So I'm just going to take the two pieces and line them up. Now it's not going to be, you know, exact, but I'm going to try to find where my center is. Okay, and I'm going to take a little pipe cleaner and put around where my center will be, because that's going to be kind of where our larger center item will go, and I'll know that everything from this side gets mirrored on the other side. Okay, so let's go ahead and stretch this back out, and now we're going to start, I'm just going to start fluffing these pines out. So it looks a little sad when you get it. You just want to take and fluff your pines out. Now, because this is for my home, I'm not going to be selling this. I am not going to glue anything in. That way, if I change my themes up quite a bit. Don't tell my husband. But I love to change my themes up, so I may want to change and use something different next year. So I don't want anything that I have in here to be permanent. That way I can take it out. So I'm just kind of fluffing these up. So I'll be using like zip ties or tying it in with pipe cleaners for the most part. Okay, just a little bit more to our center point, and then we'll get started. Okay, so we've reached our center point here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more greenery to this. So I brought in some of these cypress greens. And we're going to work, I'm going to tear them up. Just gonna, before I zip tie, I'm just gonna kind of get them placed. And this is gonna be up on top of my hutch, so it's not gonna really be seen from the back too much. So I'm not too worried about that. I'll go ahead and decorate it at all, but you know, if we're a little sparse on a few items, it's okay because it's just going on top of my hutch. But you would do the same concept if it was going to be on a mantle. You know, you might want to add a few more supplies, just depending on how full you want your garland to be. Okay, I'm going to cut this one down just a little bit. So we're just going to keep laying these all in the same direction. until we get to our center point. Okay, before I get too far, I think I kind of like that placement. So let me put my dogs up. Guys, come on. Get down. Get down. No. Go lay down. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so I'm just going to take this pipe cleaner. Just going to twist this around. Find my next point. And that way I can just quickly untie not quickly. It's never quick, right? But you know what I mean. We can get them back out. And then I'll use them for something else. Another project. Okay. Pipe cleaner. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not worried about tying it in super good because it's for me. You're going to sell it, you'd want to tie it in more securely in different spots. Okay. Trim this down. If you didn't want to do all this part, you know, you could buy a thicker garland. They're just going to be more expensive. So I'm just using some greenery that I have and just adding to it a little bit. I know that Hobby Lobby has theirs 50% off, so they may have one that's a little fuller. I'm so ready to start decorating. I told my husband I would only decorate upstairs right now. And then I will wait until next month to start doing downstairs. I know a lot of people wait till after Thanksgiving, and I used to be that way, but since I opened this business, you know, designers were always ahead of the season. So I started, as soon as Halloween is over, I take those down and put up Christmas. We just kind of skip fall here. Okay, I have gotten all the way down to our center point. Okay, so I'm going to pull this back down. And let's see, did I bring in, I thought I had brought in another greenery, but I did not. So let's do some of our picks. So let me show you our center point. Is going to be this super cute ornament. It's got the pink and the red and the white. So I want to pull in just primarily up here is going to be the red and the white. But I do have a pink Christmas tree up here that we're going to be decorating. And so I do want to bring in a little bit of the pink. So I'm going to bring in some of these pink sprays to bring in a little bit of the pink. And we're going to add some white ones too. So I'm just going to start kind of fanning these out a little bit. Okay, so it would help if I took the tag off. And I don't need the stem that long. And I could have waited, hindsight, if you're doing this at home, I could have waited on tying and just tied all this together. I was not very smart. But that's okay. It's in there nice and secure. Okay, so we're just adding that. I'm going to move this down. Let me see if this other camera angle is a little better for you guys. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that's a little better. I'm going to use, I brought in some white sprays too. We will add those as well, but let's get these pink ones in here first. We don't need the stem that long. See if I want to overlap, but we got the white spray, so I think I'm just gonna get the white sprays that are going to come in too. Okay, I'll wait on doing the pipe cleaners this time until I get the white spray in there. So I don't do a lot of garlands, just to be quite honest, they are not my favorite to do. Some people love to do garlands. I am not one of them, but I will do a few around the house. Okay, I think we're gonna need one more pink. So we're gonna need 4 per side. Because remember, we're designing to the halfway point, and then it'll be the exact same thing on the other side. But I don't want this video to be too long, so I will do half of it with you guys. I'll finish it up, and then I will show you at the end what it looks like, and then where I placed it, you'll get to see what it looks like actually hung up. Okay. All right, so I'm not going to tie those down yet. Let's get our white sprays in. So I'm going to use some of these. They call them iridescent, but they're like a white glittery spray. So our honey locust sprays. So I just kind of want to mix them in and around the pink, and then we'll tie those in. We're going to have some other sprays, but I don't want to, I want to add our ball garland next, and then, so I'm going to go ahead and tie these. We may be tying again, we'll probably be tying more, of course, because I'm not gluing this in, but I want to go ahead and get this tied. So I think I want to put my ball garland in before I put any more sprays. Okay. I forgot to take them out of the packages before I started, so sorry about that, guys. just hit the fast forward button. Okay, I'm gonna raise this one up. And then once I get it zip tied, we'll weave it. We'll weave it in there. All right, now I'm just gonna kind of manipulate these a little bit. Move it down. And we'll have 2 more. So just barely overlapping. Go ahead and get this tied in. Okay. Now let's do our little weave-in. Kind of mixing those in together a little bit. Okay, last one. So we're using 4 of each, is what I'm using for each side. So it'll be 8 total. You do use a lot of product in garlands. If you do it this way, you can just buy ball garlands and fill it up and it'll kind of save you a little bit, but which we are going to add a ball garland. But all these picks and sprays, they can get a little pricey, so that's why I did not want to glue them in. Because if I change it, I don't want to ruin them and reuse them later. Okay, we've reached our center point. Now, the ball garland I bought, unfortunately, I should have gotten 2. So we're gonna have to, let me think about that. I may have to cut it in half and put one on one side and one on the other, because remember we have that big ornament that's going in the middle. So let's see if I can do this without making a huge mess. I leave it together, then that ball's going to be in the way of our ornament. So I don't want that. Okay, so we're gonna cut it. We can always just gonna cut it right here. This ball right here is kind of like our point. I was afraid that was gonna happen. Okay, so I restrung this into 2 pieces, and I want to put it kind of in. So we've got our big piece is going to be right here in the center. So I think if we put it kind of right about here, we'll have a little bit at the end. We'll add some more picks and sprays, maybe some ribbon right down here, but I think we'll be good. So I'm just going to take and tie this in now. Find a couple places and do the same thing with our pipe cleaners. Just wrap it around. I have some bigger ornaments too. Maybe we can put down towards the end to fill in that spot, kind of like that. Okay, let's tie in our last piece. I'm going to kind of raise that up a little bit, go through my little hanger. Around the spine. There we go. I probably made that more difficult than what it needed to be, but if I had bought 2 garlands, I wouldn't have had that issue, but I didn't. It did not even cross my mind to pick up 2 of them. So I failed to plan. Okay, so now we have our wall garland in there. Let's go ahead and add that ornament down here. So I'm going to just add it right here. So I'm going to I wrapped it around that white ornament, and then I'm just going to tie it in right there. This will probably be my front where it's gonna hang, so I'm okay with the ball sort of going right there. And when I get it in place, I may take another pipe cleaner and kind of secure it. But we'll see kind of how we want it to hang when it's up on our hutch. I may just hook the 2 of these together right here. There we go. Nope, that broke. That little plastic piece on the ornament broke, so we'll just leave it alone. Okay. Well, that did not go as planned since that broke. So I'll either have to get another one or I'll just set it up there once I get it. I may just save these, and when I get it on my my little piece, I can just kind of set them where I want them. But again, if I were selling these, I would glue that so that that doesn't break. Okay, sorry. This tutorial is real life, guys. This is what happens sometimes when you're crafting. Unfortunately, things don't always go as planned. Okay, so what are we going to add now? I think let's add some of our ribbon, and then we'll add our lollipops last. So I brought in a few pieces. I don't know how much ribbon I want in here, just a little, I think. I don't think I really want to do a bow, but if I can do like some, maybe just some little loop-de-loops. Maybe just some, you know, some loops. Okay. Let's see what color I want. I think I may save this. I may use that in our tree. I think I'm going to do some loops with this, and then with these I'll just do some little half bows. Okay, so we'll have a little tail. Get this tied in. I grabbed a little piece of pipe cleaner that was a little too short. Okay. We'll kind of do a loop. Let's tie it right there. I'm just going to try to tie it just to this little white. Just to the white spray that we used. So I'm not going all the way around the spine. Like I said, this is staying here, so I'm not worried about it being super secure. Okay. Let's go sort of this direction. We're just going to kind of weave it through. To have a little bit of ribbon in here. I'm just going to tie it to this spray. Let's go back this way. I'm going to tie it right there. Right in our center point, I'm just going to tie and cut because we're going to have that ornament there. So then we'll just continue and I'll do the same thing on down the rest of the design. Okay, so we've got kind of our little roller coaster through there. Now let's add just a couple little half bows. I don't want really big, I don't want anything big bows, just little half bows. So I'm thinking just kind of right in there. put our little hat bows. Okay. I'm just going to take my pipe cleaner again. I may need a longer one. Let me get a longer one. Okay. Got our little hat bows. And let's give our ribbons some dovetails. Make sure our ribbon is going the right direction here. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and dovetail this in down here. Okay, so we've got our bow there. I'm going to skip the end. Let's do one here and here, and then I'm going to skip. So we'll do 3. I'm going to skip where we are going to have our little ornament. So I'm not measuring, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Wrap this one around where we wrap that other one. And then I'll do my dovetails. Do our last one right here. Pull you guys down just to here so you can see. Okay, we'll do our last one right here, and then I'm not going to do the center point because we're going to have our ornament there. So I'm just making a loop, just a single loop, pinching it, and giving that ribbon a twist, so that the pretty side is facing the right direction, and doing the same thing. I'm not measuring, I'm just pinching and twisting that tail. And I'm just going to wrap this right around here. Okay, we'll do our little dovetails. We're almost done. Of course, I'll keep going and finish it out, but I'm not going to go super crazy with what I'm going to add in here. But I do want to add, so we've got, let me show you how we're going to add this. And then I'll finish the other side exactly like we did this side. We're going to add another peppermint spray too, but I want to make sure I show you how we're going to put this in here before. So this is going to be a little trickier, but I think we're just going to wrap it right around. I'm going to take the pipe cleaners and wrap it right around the sides here. Before I get too far into that though, I do need to put one piece of greenery since this is our center point. I'm gonna need more greenery right there, and I don't want that center to be bare underneath our, so I'll do that off camera. But basically I'm gonna do the exact same thing we did here. I'm gonna add my greenery, I'm gonna add my sprays, and then I'm just gonna take the ties here, get this in the position that I want it, and I'm just gonna wrap it around on both sides with our pipe cleaner. And that's how I'm gonna get it to stay in. Okay, so I'll do the same thing on this side. But I gotta finish doing the base, and I don't wanna take the time to do all of that right now on this video, but that's how I'll attach our center point, okay? So let's add our last thing to this. Pull this back down. And I know with this, it's hard. I get, some people that wish they could see the whole design sometimes in the camera view, and unfortunately these big designs, it's just hard to get the right view for you guys. I can't always get it in frame, and this is one of them. Okay, so I have these cute little peppermint lollipops that I got from Hobby Lobby. So we're gonna add a few of these in there. I think I'm gonna take this red bow off, and I'm going to take the little hanger off. Actually, I'm not, just in case, I lied. Just in case I want to reuse this later, I don't want to cut that off and then I won't have it. So we'll just kind of tuck it in there. We're going to slide these, kind of slide it in there. Ah, the greenery is stuck on my ring. There we go. I'm going to slide that in there, and then I'm going to take my zip tie, not my zip tie, my pipe cleaner again. I'm going to need a longer one, I think. Yeah. Bring lots of pipe cleaners. You're going to make a garland or zip ties, whichever you prefer. I typically like to do zip ties, but I didn't want to use that many zip ties on this because zip ties are a little pricier compared to the pipe cleaners. So okay, so we have our little first peppermint in there. Let's add our second one. So that one's kind of on that side. Let's do this one kind of on this side. And I'm just tying this in again with the pipe cleaner. I may have to cut that little tag off this because it's gonna bug me. Maybe I can take a floral pin and just pin it back there. I hate to cut it off because what if I decide to use it as an ornament later? Then I wouldn't have it. So that would be good. Okay. Trying to get this pipe cleaner through there. There we go. Okay. And I'm gonna have to fix these sprays and everything again once I get it in position. But you get the gist. Okay, so we got 2. Let's do another one. So let's do it more on this side. I'm just gonna slide it in there and do the same thing. Just zip tie. I'm gonna kind of go underneath that spray. And then tie it in. This would have been so much easier if I could have glued everything, but even if I were to glue, I would still use a lot of these pipe cleaners or zip ties just because I want to make sure it's secure, especially if I were going to sell it. Okay. Did I bring anything else? No. I think that's it except for our ornament balls, which I think I'm just going to probably wait and just kind of set them up there where I want them once I get in position. So I think that's it. And we've got our little garland. So till next time, bye guys.